Radio 99.3. It's so refreshing.
Observe, say, of recent, this happened two times that other week with the song. I mean, do don't clean it. I mean, the same hustle. You therefore go through a lot of hustle on a daily basis. I mean, people have to wake up very early. I mean, if I go fan waiting, then go put on the table. Remember that song, the food on the table, and it's so important. So, good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone, and a warm greetings to our listeners across the globe. I mean, whether you time the morning, afternoon, or evening, you're most welcome to the Epic Morning Show, your trusted show for credible information, thoughtful analysis, and of course, daily inspirational message them. So today now. Tuesday, the 23rd day of December. I love Wednesday, so I just want to say Wednesday. But anyways, today is Tuesday, the 23rd day of December 2025, and me now start evangelously. I therefore do with you now for the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. And of course, we broadcast live from our studios at 54 Agricultural Freetown, Sierra Leone, and also on frequency modulation 99.3 FM. And you can also follow the conversation live on our Facebook page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM, Radio Garden, and of course, Choice FM. That's the one we live in the eastern part of Freetown. And of course, it's so important to us this morning. So, I want to say plenty thank you to you for you to take your time for the listen to the Epic Morning Show from Monday to Friday. We appreciate you so much. I mean, using that to pop, battery, you name it. We appreciate you so much. I want to say we're grateful. So the Epic Morning Show, it's always 30 minutes program. We're thoughtfully divided into two interactive segments. And of course, in the first segment of the Epic Morning Show, we start off with our guys' message of the day, and of course, followed by our breaking news highlight, and also our hot topic of discussion where we feature guests to discuss on critical issues that demands critical answers. And of course, towards the end of the program, we open the phone line where an great opportunity for call and contribute towards with topic of discussion, and also we call it look at our message the way when I go down send for our Facebook live page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. So as usual, entertainment and sport wrap up the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. And in the second segment with Marion Precious George to give you the front pages of our newspapers, and also invite analysts to break down and analyze the major stories that will be making the headlines this morning. So our topic of discussion, our hot topic of discussion this morning, rise in the minimum wage. I mean, from 800 to 1,200 leons. We're asking how is it calculated, and of course why. So that's our topic of discussion. The minimum wage don't reach from don't come up from 800 leons to 1,200 so leons. So now that's what they can discuss in the show this morning. So have yourself a cup of coffee. I think it's quite hot this morning, so I advise you get cold water this morning. Very much important. So probably for the one day when it's cooking in the morning, it's important as well. Get yourself a plate of cookery this morning, and keep me coming, or keep her coming for the next 2 hours, 30 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, as this is not festive season, I beg your pardon, we'll continue for preach peace. So, quick one, guys, message of the day: one hand bangle, not cause noise. Bangles need cause noise. I mean, when you get one hand bangle, now you earn, like probably the chain will get or whatever, the wrist bracelet, so you will get. If I be two, you will hear the noise really cause. I mean, this simply means, say, at times you therefore keep the peace. I mean, stay alone, keep the peace. No land for the argue, because we argue people. I mean, that the noise, argument the noise safe. So just try very hard for keep the peace. This is not festive season. People more offend you. People want for test you patience. People go on for look, want for pull the bad side of you. I mean, but not heal into that. Not give them chance for make that happen. So just keep on low as we approach New Year's. Just try for keep it low, and make we get a successful 2025 and move up to that kind of spirit, and a peaceful spirit for 2026. So this now morning's Always Arise message of the day, the 23rd day of December 2025. Stay tuned.
Sierra Leoneans, what's the way to do for push this country go before? Wake up your body and do something. Yeah. Jungle leader say so again. God don't clean back home if I'm with them.
The same old system and the same problem.
So what's the we for do? Oh, we never them.
Wait for make this problem, yeah, so win.
God don't clean back home if I'm with them.
The same old system and the same problem.
So what's the we for do? Oh, we never them.
Wait for make this problem, yeah, so win.
I've been
Tell me mama and me papa them go.
You don't ready for win big money every single day? Epic Radio they make them happen with bomba cash out. For just 10 leons no more, you can enter the draw and win 5 money straight inside your phone. No stress, no waste time. And now so you go take joy. Dial *799*2# and choose how much tickets you want. From 1 to 10. Enter your orange money or Afri money pin. And boom, now you that. You don't enter the draw. The more tickets you buy, the higher chance you get for win. And the best part is that if they pick your number, the money will go straight inside your orange money or Afri money wallet. You don't even need for Canada station. So, what's you they wait for? Dial *799*2# now and continue for listening to Epic Radio. If you know one of your lucky daily winners then. For more information, call the support center on this number yaso 032-300-033. Number cash out, money they flow. Called by Masslink Limited. This not a purpose to whether under 18 law, so play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
Epic Radio 99.3.
Sierra
It's so refreshing.
Cheese. Famous. Hello, 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 hello.
Freetown! Let's celebrate entertainment at a first degree. The superstar went on tour all over the world, different countries them, and say, I'm coming home because there is no place like home. And it's coming from the BSK Music. They come with the biggest, and the biggest concert in Sierra Leone. Famous.
Not to know the pressure on me. Not to know the pressure on me. Yeah, yeah. Not to know the pressure on me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not to know the pressure on me. No, 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 no. No pressure.
With the No Pressure concert, we go happen Sunday, January 4, 2026. All this go happen. Now the best nightclub na Salon, Data Chapter 1. If you want buy your ticket now 1,000 leons. If you are wait na gate, now 1,500 leons. And for you, we want your ticket fast one, and want make them deliver to you. Rocket Commercial Bank all over the country go make you get your ticket even at your doorstep. You where one book table or one make reservation. Now for call on this number 090-543619. Let me bring in a sponsor for this event. AYV Media Empire, SLBC, Rocket Commercial Bank, NSBT, Seco, TV, Epic Radio, Gentle Group of Company, Universal Radio, 98.1 Radio Democracy, Slick TV, Afri Money, and the #1 mobile communication in Sierra Leone, AfriCell. Make a break and be hosted for this event. A Hollywood and Broadway actor, Duane Richmond, and one of the best comedians at Salon, Kindo Amani, and the pride of SL, Dunia Animal or Vicky Dave of Citizen Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming from the biggest in Sierra Leone, BSK Music, as they coming with the No Pressure Concert 2026 from Famous. Now Chapter 1, Sunday, January 4, 2026. 1,000 euros if you want to buy ticket now. Don't wait to be told, cause it's going to be the funky in the Famous.
No pressure. I cannot feel myself. I can only do my
It's
best.
so refreshing.
All right, welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And of course, welcome to our breaking news highlight on this fine dial. So joining me in the studio this morning is Usman Ibrahim. Usman, good morning, and what's breaking in the show this morning?
Good morning, Ivan. Of course, we get breaking news them ranging from government appointees them yesterday to the judiciary for Salon. We don't say in less than 2 months, judge them all over the country. Don't sentence 20 people with average sentence of 30 years imprisonment. So I'll just take you to some of the sentence system will actually happen. But even now, though, the judiciary say these convicts them includes foreign nationals them, among them were Nigerians, Liberians, and 2 Tanzanian citizens them. They say this demonstrates for say the law is applied without fear or favor, irrespective of nationality or status. However, now though the highest sentence among all of these 20 cases now, the state versus Newton Johnson, where the offense now collecting prohibited drugs and unlawful possession of prohibited drugs. This happened 11th November this year. They sentenced him to 40 years imprisonment. And the second highest among all of this, now the state versus Howard Dukuli, again, the same drug-related case, sentenced him to 35 years imprisonment. Among them, also we see the average sentence in this now 30 years. We don't see a notice from the judiciary chief justice. We say judges them across the country never sentence people in less than 30 years imprisonment.
Well, in 2 months, you unforesee most of them cases, then they 20 cases, then they for those drug-related issues, and of course we don't see. I mean, you want to look at say. That kind hype we push we get or drugs business we get some 2-3 months back. You want to agree with me?
This not the reason make. But this not the reason make.
Well, I'm not going to tag on towards say probably the speediness of our judiciary, but of course the police have done extremely well. You want to praise themselves for the work that they do. I mean, so yeah. But it's kind of like a less of late.
Okay, let's move ahead now. President Julius Maada just yesterday from the office. He made 2 appointments them. Mr. Sheikh Ahmed Tunis, as the Executive Director for the Protected Area Authority, NPAA, and other appointment, Miss Marian Sherif, Board Member, Goma Valley Water Companies. Because President being office yesterday releasing this 2 appointments from the office of the President.
I want to say congratulations to them, and plenty Salon people, and they expect more reshuffle for happen, especially when they go to New Year's. I mean, some big major transfer them for them begin take place, or some big major deals them for them begin happen, shake some ministries, and you see, especially we're going to 2026. But well, it's all good.
Of course, this one we get for the National Protected Area Authority. I think it is a critical sector in government now. I mean, I was just last Friday we didn't attack Ugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary. I mean, there are still calls, there are still threats with the Chimpanzee Sanctuary still face with regards to the rising encroachment problem. Yeah. I mean, over 500 hectares of land being lost in just over months. So I think it is a very, very big problem as Freetown continue for the urbanize. That's all for the breaking.
In as much as we get problem, I saw Stacy. How is Stacy doing?
Stacy's doing very well. I mean, Stacy they come out quarantine very soon.
Okay.
She's just 3 months old.
Thank you so very much, Usman Ibrahim, for our breaking news highlight. And stay tuned again tomorrow for another edition of our breaking news. So, quick one before we go, you get more cutting for talk, but you know get better to pop. I mean, Suba Kaiba bundle not the answer. So just dial *500# for subscribe to the cheapest voice bundle na Salon. I mean, the more you subscribe, the more chance you get to win brand new keke, motorbike, generator, and solar lights them. So don't forget the code na *500#. Stay tuned.
Pop, you see block man? You see Jen? You say it waka? But this na super kaiba. Look up. This na me brand new keke. Yes so, beaucoup super kaiba dem don boss. Or don pulado the mega campaign all over the country. Hey. Yes, just dial *500# and buy top up and talk boku and continue for the talk, or dial *144# and pay with orange money and stand chance for win super prize them every week like solar kits. Okada, generator, and every month, one person will win keke. Orange they give you the power for build your life, support your family, and better your community. Yourself can live the sober Kaiba life. Orange and Orange Money, the most rewarding, exciting, and connected brand na salon.
You don't taste the artisanal ice cream?
You don't notice Dion ice cream, not a sugar no more like them other one them, but get unique, extraordinary, different kind fruit flavor them.
You notice where it melt na your tongue, it make you feel good and they give you baby satisfaction.
You know what to make them picking them lekam?
Mama, did you want ice cream?
You know what to make them big people and safe want for the liquor?
Them flavor they are. Now the same like some ice cream them. Now European country them, especially Italy.
No. Wait you don't taste them cheese, chicken, beef, or pepperoni pizza them.
Where them pastry them. I mean, then different kind cake. Where they can dress with ice and you know.
You mean not then a Western partner free tongue. And me used to them, but they now na Eastern. And they feel them. Where you know they able get them.
You then are Eastern parts, but all them you want for Kawaka to them.
Oh my gosh! Una don't make me more to run water. Tell me, who that una they talk about so?
Gigi Bontan Sierra Leone Limited. When now don't open, now the Eastern part, na Freetown.
Oh yes! The one and only Gigi Bonta now don't open. Now number 393 by Bure Road by Ojoku Junction.
Wow, so sweet for Yeri Bobs. You mean we the Eastern man them can go now na the great Gigi Bonta where they na Ojoku Junction inside Freetown from Tuesday to Sunday every week and get good eats them like all kind ice cream, pizza, drinks, and cake them where they can dress. Just like the one where they're in Lumley Beach.
Of course, yes. Inside there, you can look free DSTV, football game them, free Wi-Fi for browse every Tuesday to Sunday. And then so get live band show every Saturday, 8 o'clock sharp.
So come meet all party them and family them where you don't say you not see for long time now. If you want no more,
call win at 079 5299 86 or 075 731 007.
Gigi Bonta Instant Branch. Come to
Epic
Ojoku
Radio.
Junction and enjoy.
So welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM and of course our Facebook page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. So quick one, somebody dropped me a message this morning. So I mean, they wonder why, and when I opened the message, it was like, well, una really say things can go the country. I mean, people pay 1.5 million yesterday. I went at the is it Bamba the show and actually the place full up. And you know, I was like, I want for thinking though at some point, but you want for agree, say people are enjoying the festive season. So whether the percentage of the one they will enjoy is small, the one they will know they enjoy in Ademboko, well, it is what it is. So they can talk about the rise in the minimum wage from 800 leons to 1,200 and how is it calculated and why. So that's what they can talk in the show this morning. So minimum wage now. Well, one for put on say the floor price, so you or the lowest amount of money we employer can pay in work. I mean, for the work we you don't do. I mean, so whether it for be on a weekly, monthly, or you name it, or daily, so weekly and monthly. So that's now it's in minimum wage stand for. So the Minister of Employment, Labor and Social Security, Honorable Mohamed Raman Swari, be announced the new minimum wage will take effect on the 1st of April 2026, with 1,200 leons. I mean, if you convert that to dollar, it's around $50 to $54. And around with neighboring country, Guinea, Liberia, for Guinea, the minimum wage is about $63. And Liberia, not that clear, but they're around $150. Some would say it's definitely like 5 point something dollar per day. And if you calculate, 30 days or whatever, it's about $150. And going through, for this is so interesting. Sorry, for the United States of America, it's about $7.2 per hour. Okay, so people in the work in America like 8 hours a day, and if you check out, it's close to $56 per day. So that's what we'd expect to deal with for the rest of the month in Africa. So reason why we did talk about bringing all this for make we understand that we never expect whether it's a good news or it's something we for celebrate as a nation, because you don't come up from 800,000 to 1,200, or probably it's supposed to pass this and look at waiting how things then they go now the market. But another important thing again, how our inflation, the drop. I think for now it would be something like a 5 point something. Drop. You don't come up from double digits and you don't go single digits for quite a long, for the past 6, 7 months now, 8 months. You want for put on that way there, and we don't hit single digits. So 1.2, 1,200 is gonna be our new minimum wage come 1st April 2026. Okay, so one for ask how they arrive at that particular amount there, the 1,200, and why. So that's what we'll be asking in the show this morning. So continue for David. We can talk to Melvin T. Mansari, we a journalist, and also we expect to get somebody from the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, which will be part of the conversation. And for me, it can explain how we manage reach that particular side as their own responsibility. Look at the welfares of workers across the country. So in that direction, they will talk to Edward Yarime, hope I get it right, Kamara, Deputy Secretary General, Sierra Leone Labour Congress. And of course, I don't tell you earlier on, Melvin T. Mansari, journalist, will be part of the conversation. So stay tight to your radio set, and probably if you watch me live on Facebook, continue to drop your comments on our Facebook live page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM, and I will surely, gladly read them out. So stay tuned. I'm going to introduce my guest them shortly. Stay tuned. To expect to get Yarime Kamara and also Melvin T. Mansari for joining me in the studio. For me, we can talk about the minimum wage. You don't come up from 800 leons to 1,200. But before we get a conversation, while waiting for a guest, don't be joined in the studio by Reginald Briano Jukotosaya. Good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Thank you very much, Ivan Lee. Good morning. Good morning to listeners of the Epic Morning Show, and also good morning to the one that will watch you on Facebook as well.
I want to touch on this, very important. Somebody dropped me a message this morning, and whether the person only listened to me, whether I just want to make a get understanding of everything that happened, and he was saying, when they say the country book, people they enjoy festive season. People spend 1,500 for going to the Bamba or the show yesterday. What's your take so far?
Exactly. So I mean, look at well, I think in all of the show, what even the last 2 days, you'll be no same every day. I think 300 people and pay 600 or 500 for 2 days. Immediately after that show, you get the Bamba Day, which was a 2 days event as well. You see a lot of people. I'll tell you, the traffic yesterday was towards this morning was so tense from Levuma, in fact, until Sugarland outside the program, with a lot of traffic from pictures they were see on status.
And imagine the cost now 1,500.
Exactly. So for few hours, I would say for few hours. I mean, people can pay such money for go and just entertain themselves. It tells you one other man is say money they now we not get and all. But again, that is Sierra Leone. I mean, sometimes when Saloma for do something, they go the extra mile for ensure say it do. But again, whether that in a wise or foolish investment, then I think say the tango can we definitely we go know as to that decision the individual make.
So why if people they go the extra mile, according to what you say, forget 1,500, why people don't go that same extra mile there? I mean, for put food on the table, and I just want for take from it in this person, then we blaming government each and every time they work no day. I mean, things are not going well. Why not using that extra energy like how we use forget that 1.5 day, just a day?
Sierra Leone and resilient people, yeah. A lot of people we go and I mean I know I'm for a lot of people we go out say some man we don't begin for like they say some man don't begin for put I think say for me they also update this some man don't begin for put small things together and all for ensure say able for go entertain himself and go watch well saying that again that should be transformed into making something meaningful for you as an individual is also another conversation altogether, because again you get to look at the enabling environment. Are there the enabling environment? If yes, how accessible is this enabling environment and all? Because again, everybody really deny now, except otherwise, but nobody know and for just they no more, they make efforts for the able forget, because we normally can say now plenty efforts. Then they basically make you get comfort. So you get for putting that kind of effort daily. And the country, most of we they survive, now daily survival. And all. If you want to know that, just check the money that they pay an individual for a month, and then you calculate the amount of money you spend per day. When you calculate that, you know say your salary in fact not only they keep you for the entire month and all. That is the magic way. I mean, we can normally say magic salon. You know, that's it's a mystery way we all know but understand how it basically can happen and all. And it's difficult as well for make you see an individual go an entire day in Sierra Leone, except make your life meaningful. Go an entire day for the get a meal. I mean, for it, whether you get money in your pocket, but we basically every day can say some angry, but I think at some point you can share. So these are all things that we'll take into context when we get this kind of conversation. As a
journalist, you actually surprised you be want for get more. I mean, when it comes to the minimum wage from 800 to that of 1,000, so you surprised at some point?
Oh yeah, I mean you asked if on the increment if I surprised.
Yes, the increment, yeah.
Well, yes, I would expect this basically for I would expect the minimum wage for God, because we know say the one I've been there before was way below the belt and all, and we're expecting it to be at such an amount where it will be kind of attracting to people and all. As to whether this new one as well, a kind of appetizing, it's a conversation all together as well. But I think, yes, I would expect, to answer your question, I would expect the minimum wage will go up a bit, and we see 50% of that have already been added, even though it not take effect yet, because the financial calendar I think can start in April or so. You know, but let's see how we definitely go.
Thank you very much, Reginald Briano. You could say I don't be joined in the studio by Melvin T. Mansari. Melvin, good morning and congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning to you and to Fambule.
Okay, so how the holidays so far? I mean, close to Christmas. I don't view the city. What's not happen so far?
Well, for me, I always tell God thank you. Saying everything, give thanks for the fact that you get life, you get well body. You for contemplate on how ends will meet. At least let the kitchen pull smoke on that day or days before that. But I can think there's this lyrics I can always like this BNTM where the Nigerian singer they say every single day na holiday.
Yeah.
And that just ties to life is how you make it. Christmas, New Year's na one green day them. But how you don't make your life from January 1 to now, so you go for see the result to January 31. That not mean to say the favor of God and all this grace not going to be abounding over the course of time. So for me, yeah, not holiday, but every day not holiday. Left to how you pocket day. So if you pocket not day, fine. Christmas go car and you know feel them. So that goes to why people need for be philanthropic, as I always can say, give back to your community if you get, give back to the poor if you get, and definitely I think to hear that they say to hear that much is given, much is expected, and blessed is the hand that giveth than the hand that taketh. But in Sierra Leone, we are all hands that are taken because of the economic situation. But that is not to say we don't have people that are well off by virtue of economy or status or any kind of way. So I think, say, for me, making me think, I believe in the principle of Robin Hood. I will take from the one that will get past me, forget to the one that will get past. And that has been my principle.
Thank you.
Holiday, no holiday.
Thank you so very much. I'll be joined in the studio again by Edward Yarime Kamara. I hope I get it right. Deputy Secretary General, Sierra Leone Labour Congress. Good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and good morning to listeners and viewers.
Are you happy this morning?
Always.
Always happy.
Yes.
So is this a fair amount from 800 to 1,200 for workers across the country?
I go say if you take an exam, you get 50 mark, around 50%. Around I go get that grade. If not university, the person will celebrate. So if you want to use the word fair, I go say because of we get 50% increase, it go far beyond fair.
You are representing the workers. Are you comfortable in this?
Good. We want the very best for every workman in the country. But we not to employers. They meet with we colleague employers. And as law provide, every 2 years we meet, and then we review the minimum wage. The review, they comprise of the following bodies. We get Labour Congress, where they represent workers. We get the Employers Federation, where they represent all the employers them, or percentage of the employers them, but then are the most representative body. And then we get government. Interestingly, this year review, Labour Congress now we've been get the chair.
Okay.
Then me have been the lead negotiator on behalf of the workers in this country. Then we get Employers Federation. Then self been get the person in the name of Ojo Collier. We represent the employers, and then we get government. We no less a person but the commissioner Sidon. So as per law provide, we're supposed to review minimum wage every 2 years.
Okay.
When that we don't fulfill. But if you say if we're comfortable, the answer is no. And when you look at our proposal initially...
I guess you the answer to the why. Why we're not comfortable? That's what you're answering to now.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
We initial proposal now been 2,700 leos.
Okay.
We will look at the ability for people to buy one bag rice. And then you look at the culture now. We first in a crew man they cook 2 days plus us, but now country we all don't involve. So man they even cook and serve 3 days. He puts on a freezer. So we take all those parameters: the consumer price index, the cost of living. We look at all the minimum wage across the sub-region and far. We say Sierra Leone at that level we've been there $35.
$35, yeah.
We've been saying necessary. Say in 2015, we've been negotiating and get minimum wage at $110. So our premise was $110 or better. So when we proposed 2.7, and I've been that background for 6 years, make we go back to where we're coming from, because in 2015, when we get minimum wage at $110, we have been 500 leos at that time. You realize, see, Ghana, Nigeria, and other parts of West Africa be far below that. to an extent that Nigeria has been sent an invite to Sierra Leone, the Labour Congress, for go explain how we come about for get that particular amount. Unfortunately, I been going to Nigeria for able to tell them all the parameters are put together. Fast forward after 2015, you see, say in 2018, the system changed, government change, for let people understand. And when government changed, the government been carried with the power pattern. So they just bulldoze and announce minimum wage at 600. Okay. Without no negotiations between the JNNB. So we took it up. We go tell to the president, say, this idea wrong, that the Minister of Finance for announced minimum wage, that was JJ Safa by then.
Okay.
We also go meet them, say, partner, you don't usurp with responsibilities, and not to you for announce them. Yeah? So that be make President Miguel for talk to we. He say, he don't talk now public, he don't go to parliament. We not stop there, we go to parliament as well. We meet the former speaker, Honorable Labas Bundu. We talk to him. Okay. And then they give you comfort that going forward, any time we minimum wage issue come up, if the Ministry of Finance want for go announce them, they go say, no, not your responsibility. So we applaud them for that. And since then, the next minimum wage into where we do, which was in 2021, of course, the public will know that we experienced Ebola. So we will do a mild shift from 600 to 800. I'm just giving you the history. Yeah. So when we get to 800, you see Ebola come, the implementation date we shift time because the way the hotels and other business people, they complain, we will get calls for shift time to an extent.
So by then, the Leones will don't begin to depreciate?
Yes, okay. Yes. So fast forward, the Minister of Finance, we meet him in 2023. We meet him for one of the reasons we meet him at the minimum wage. Of course, instead we acknowledging at the Ministry of Employment, Labour and Social Security. So that then follow that law, and we present the 2.7, as I tell you, but it's going to be negotiated. Okay. So the employer themselves put up another proposal, say 2.7, they're not able. We then look at all the circumstances where they happen around them business. Okay. And another thing, we look at government being the highest employer. We, in some other parts of the world, now the private sector, they employ more. But for Sierra Leone, now government, they employ more, you know. So that being...
Well, that's the reason why some people go say, well, the 2.7 for the left, because government, they're the highest employer.
That be we wish. And one thing we are going to tell you, we make like me, we've been the lead. I always see in the social media, always you see government people and they dance, then they celebrate, now the party office, then they out. There's so many celebrations from this angle of government. So we should say government happy, government and comfortable. So if we're building, if you want to bring that happiness come back to the layman, then make sure you get a befitting salary.
So which angle government looking from? Is it from the private sector, the concern where they raise, or probably the one for look at, well, government's not their money?
Well, the opposing side, the strong opposing side in the conversation have been the Employers Federation.
Okay, that's the private sector.
Correct.
Okay.
When you look at them, and then, excuse me, you see, say, we premise we arguments on the something like, say, the workers behind the wall. Because for we in a Labour Congress, almost all we membership, workers we unionize, as at that date, most of them, they get more than 1,000 salaries, all things put together. So for we will be CC, okay, the direct membership, those staff who are unionized, then they get other things them added to the basic. For example, when the basic was 800, there are workers where they get transport allowance, rent allowance, medical allowance. Just like what the minister say, if you put all those allowances together, Some people, they even jam 2,000.
2,000, okay.
Yes. But there are other sectors wherein, for example, the police, the military, the nurses, these are all government workers. The prison, the fire force.
Yeah.
Now where the minimum wage don't go 1, 2 so. Most of them go there and then corner. They say, thank you, they can get increase. Because plenty of them they below 1,000 as basic.
All right, so we'll come to you later and can tell how we arrive at that 1,200. I mean, Melvin, we're at 1,200. Should workers across the country then supposedly celebrate?
Well, I was just looking at ILO and then standards, particularly a publication where they say it's on the minimum wage policy guide.
Yeah.
And yes, from a general face value, somebody go on for say it should be lauded, especially as per what is negotiated with the social partners, in this case the Labor Congress and the employers. They are called social partners, particularly for the reason that it's not just a government thing, because it gets rippling effects on businesses and the economy. So, for example, back to your question, if somebody for celebrates, you go celebrate when you put them in the right context of what's the poverty line nationally and internationally, not alone. So once you get that poverty line, you get other indicators like productivity, you get indicators like inflation, and the general well-being of the economy, basically. So for answer your question, if somebody for celebrates, you go to celebrate whether it's commensurate to the cost of living of the worker, and not forget only ILO is not only talking about the workers, but and their families.
Yeah.
All right. So you ask 1,200 for the month for a worker and of a family of, let's say, one Boba, one Titi, and the mommy and the pa. Is that commensurate? That brings us to the broader question. I think it's good that Mr. Edward is here as to what formula is used, because ILO is very concerned about whether countries are using a mathematical formula or what is called a complex formula.
That's a good answer to be short.
Of course, he's an expert in that. So if we can tell what formula is used, then we can be able to gauge basically that. But also there's another ripple effect, which has got to do the commensurate or equal effects on the wage bill. Okay? If you've increased the minimum wage, and governments always they talk about recruiting more, definitely it means say you are coming to add burden on the economy. And if you are adding burden on the economy in Sierra Leone, the economic context is huge. The concern now, although inflation has dwarfed, but the concern is the budget deficit. If you are having all these lofty plans, forget more people recruited, and you've increased the minimum wage under whatever formula government will use and the social players, then it begs the question, where will this money come from when it comes to providing or financing the wage bill? That is a critical question, because if you are daydreaming around it, it will eventually lead to a situation wherein you cannot pay your workers. But there is a good side also to this, because for once, if you look at the government statements written one of the publications at the Ministry of Civic Education's website, Zachariah, the author there, is saying that government is not only now increasing it to that 1,200, but they are also extending the bracket now to involve the private sector. That's a whole theme. That's a whole theme when it comes to bringing in the private sector within this kind of arrangement.
And for now, they are starving the private sector.
Well, you get to be empirical on that. But from what we are seeing, if, again, the fiscal year begins January 1. So this is going to be rolled out in April. So it's not a fiscal, it's not within the fiscal, I don't know how to put it, basically. If you want to get a good gauge around them, somebody go ask why it not start January 1. But you get to use the first quarter of the new year, which is 2026, which is January, February, March. April. In fact, the opening of the second quarter.
Yeah.
So why? What is the rationale behind that? And of course, we know the budget runs within a fiscal year. So that will eventually maybe therefore lead to we ever see some supplementary for certain institutions we might recruit or promote or improve the conditions of the workers. So the source there is it's good for the worker and the family, but who pays the bill? Because when it comes to talk about the private sector, the employers federation, they will have their own concerns. Huge concerns. I mean, the chief negotiator on the side of the Labour Congress is here. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the labor law, for example, mining companies, it's the law say them for improve the conditions of the workers, but it's based on the available resources.
Yeah.
And what companies have always argued that governments can come with all this because they want to fulfill the political promise and meet the political needs of the people. So companies don't thrive by that. They thrive by profits, their cost of operation. If you can't give them minimum wage, where tomorrow they're not going for pay, what happens? It sends them into insolvency and bankruptcy.
Or probably you could rise some amounts of unemployment, begin cut down.
So there are pros and cons to it, but I hope if we know what kind of formula they use and all this, because evidence based is what the ILO is talking about, and I don't know if this is evidence based, but Mr. Edward is also here. If you look at the ILO, they are very much focused on such measures should be taken based on evidence.
You talk about the 1,200, whether it's commensurate to the standard of living. Of course, as for now, within Liberia and Guinea, I mean, it's the lowest, $54-something. I mean, like Guinea, it's about $63. I mean, it's up. Let's look at one bag rice, it's about $650. How people therefore manage that 1,200 million?
It goes to statistics. There are benchmarks. The formula goes back to the formula. What are the things that they are looking at? Because the needs of the worker and their family, nothing way even the first convention, I think in 1927, had a disagreement on that. Then get everything called high priority needs, low priority needs, and all that. So it depends on the formula where they use, and that's where statistics come into play. Because you ever look at the GDP, you ever look at the GDP, then you get other economic indices. Then where you get for tie and two. But all based to what kind of formula is being used. There is complex formula and there is a mathematical formula. So what formula is used can answer that question.
All right, Edward. I mean, the ball dinner you cut now. I mean, 1.2 or 1,200. How to arrive at the amount there?
Yeah, thank you. We put plenty indicators there.
Okay.
Like for one, the consumer price index. If you look for let you cook, you begin by charcoal, by palmine, and all the other things in there for cook. Average Sierra Leone and we want cook. The least you go spend something 150.
So that plastic coal they talk about, so
correct,
not bad.
Not bad. When they look at the daily with the person city, they are the cook.
Okay.
If serviceman just decide say I can't cook one pot, we look at all the analysis then they. We look at the cost of living. Say this money you can't give me so. Waiting really go buy. Then we'll find out, so, okay, this money go buy one bag rice. So say one bag rice don't come out inside the minimum wage. The current minimum wage of 800, you know they buy one bag rice, so they buy half. So we look at that. Then, of course, Melvin talk, ILO gets one concept in negotiation, ability to pay. When you go into negotiations, now I make them say, let we do all kind investigations, all kind research. At the end of the day, you come with that premise, they say, you able to pay. So I need to agree, which I don't reach you. Then another thing we're very crucial in that particular discussion, now the job creation. How many people will get a job because of the minimum wage? Or how many people will lose job because of the minimum wage? So put all them then at the table. I remember when we started the negotiation at 2.7, the employer then would say 900. Now we say we will not begin it. So we say 2,000. From 2.7 we come down to 2,000. Right there, we get small business system. We begin send message to we na the WhatsApp go po open. May I get 20 workman, so if now they move the minimum wage to 2,000, you automatically say I go left with 10. So are we going there to negotiate minimum wage? We go put people in a job? The answer is no. Because the more people get working in this country, the more circulation of finance in the economy.
One thing before we go further, one thing I go categorically say the honest truth, when the minimum wage will be 800,000, I'll tell you, people in this country where they pay below the amounts there. It be plenty.
I go agree with you.
Thank
Perfectly
you.
correct.
People in the way they pay. And
Correct.
you want to ask, what is the Ministry of Labor be done they do in terms of monitoring and how we can get for monitor this? Because when you talk about people there for cut down on staff, it might be some genuine concern, some may not be genuine at some point.
Yeah, you're right. You see, I'll tell you outrightly, when we go into negotiations, our biggest concern can always be government. Because one, if you look even the nurses, you go to the hospital, there are many government sectors within the paid and staff them below the minimum wage. One such company, one such institution have been Slaggy. Slaggy now one big government institution, but they paid and staff them below 800. It takes the union pressure, Labour Congress back up the union for let them go above 2,500 now. So it is not true that yes, whenever the minimum wage day, people in the way they beat time. So we take all that into consideration. Of course, if you look at the inflation, the book inflation, where government they say it's about 5%, as compared to within the reality, we've been silent time. You understand? You know, so the situation of Ministry of Labor not being in the position for monitor then different institution and they or employer where they pay below 800, it can be at a point where you see within the strength, the manpower, the needed logistics where they need for do their work, you know, they face serious challenge. It's only now that we see then self don't recruit more people because the law give them right for him go to every institution and go check. They can just come to this place, for example, then say, may we see on a voucher for see whether they implement the minimum wage of 800 now that you don't go 1-2. Then get all those things. But I'll tell you, Honorable Soiree and somebody who trust, I respect him, all this while we don't then supposed to be one result. So him being the minister for this particular one, I trust you now enforce minimum wage. We insist as minister. I believe say go on for enforcement. Because now the good thing is that the Employment Act we just enact, the Parliament just enact after the development by the JCC, then they give stringent measures for somebody we not implement the minimum wage. So that's again get for come out to the public for not say if you don't pay the minimum wage with the law say now this not the fine. Once it is proven that this person they paying will command them below the minimum wage. Yeah, so then they get. But another thing we can happen now silent negotiation behind the scene. Sometimes employer no really say now 800. I'll give that scenario now for the security sector. Then the man employ a security tell and say the law say I for pay you 800, but no go below. I go give you 600, 700. So until that young man we want this job, he don't do all this while he not get job. He dey take her. You know they even go report. Now when it comes to parting, now they say the report now say this man not be the pay me correct. 600 will be paid. Yes, but you the employer now you stand for loss. All right, so because if we know we calculate the benefits with the 800 from the say when the person begin work.
All right, so we'll go back to one. You talk about few indicators. One, I talk about food. I mean, basic how person they cook. I mean, on a daily basis. One day, I mean, they spend about 150. And look at what we take gonna look at so far.
As I tell you, the issue of job creation. If we peg this, if we tower as at that time, say 2000, the one that we get job right now, most of them is for loss.
So we will now look at basically not just food stuff or food items.
No, not the country. So
Okay,
now we look
continue.
at the World Bank index on poverty. It's a $2 a day. Now you consider say this man poor. So that now be another thing where we premise. So if you look at the minimum wage where we get, where you check the daily pay, they're above $2. We take all that into consideration. Because now if you look at 1.2, the number of days we're supposed to work in this country are 22 days.
22 days, okay.
So you divide them, you get something like 54.5. So go round up to $55 per day. So we look at all 55 millions As suppose that new loans they talk about.
Mhm.
Yes, 55 loans. So you look, say 55 loans, somebody can just wake one morning, go down corner, they buy in cookery in the morning, they buy in the afternoon, and then they survive. So we look at all land again for say yes, when would they get a minimum wage, let we make sure say the daily amount the man will consider for people for able to use that money for able to get things for it. Yeah, of course the cost of living. We look at basically those of us where they work. We find it very difficult for meet your demands. Now just ways and means. Sometimes we mean for ask ourselves say, me then they pay me 3,000, but my expenditure say for 2 weeks in more than 5,000. There comes the goodness of God. Because sometimes you can imagine how this happened. Yeah. You know, and when you look now, the government side now, we also premise on that again in that. We look, say, government as at, when we go into the negotiation, the lowest paid person in government will get 1,010 leons. Okay. The least paid.
A government.
A government.
Okay.
So we say, okay, if government then at this particular level, then they get plenty employers just from waiting Melvin talk, a look about the ripple effect, the shift will get for happen. Because in the negotiation, they may get somebody from AfriCell. We represent the Employers Federation. He presented a very brilliant argument on what they go mean when the minimum wage they add from 800, they add another 400 leons. He do that analysis there. And the table will somehow get what you call reasonability. We don't go into negotiation with a mindset. We go into negotiation with an open mind. And you begin to see the reality of the other side. So when they presented the analysis for say, this now budget, we wage bill for the year. Yeah. If this 400 go on top, now this will go mean. And then we begin look at the other things the way government people they don't like. For example, those who are doing business. You look at the tax we government they levy on them. You look at the cost of doing business. These are all parameters who analyze. The cost of doing business, even unanaya, if they do business with electricity, trust me, the company or the institution not going to get savings for increased salaries. But if they do business with electricity, it's agreed, they get some savings. Those were all presented on the table.
Melvin, I remember the World Bank report recently. It talked about the private sector. When it's a concern, if a country therefore excel or succeed, it therefore boost in private sector. I mean, how do we go past this? Because Edward rightly say, then are the people that will appeal more than made this no reach Usai reach. So.
I think the government need for adhere to liberalization standards. The government cannot, quoting the words of Mr. Edwards, pauperize when it comes to dealing with the forces of the markets or its players. You cannot. It's a liberal thing. And you really expect that employer for go pay amounts of money where pool, where he invest and where he profit in order nothing after for make for himself. So it's a liberal kind of process. But again, the World Bank is saying government for take decisive measures. Yeah. Is this one of the decisive measures that will aid private sector involvement in bailing out the economy? That's going to be a skeptical question, very skeptical, and it boils to who is speaking: the social players, the union, or the government. Who is speaking, and who that get the stake? At the end of the day, government always is in this quagmire of, well, you make it too hard for the private sector, they are folding up. And when they fold up, like the case of Corridor Holdings, it's a classic, low-cost classicus for 2025. Yeah. As to how government can go about when it talks about making business climates comfortable. And mind, this is one of the MCC benchmarks. And what the World Bank report is saying is there is a need for more inclusivity and consultation. And I'm glad maybe what I established the context here.
We get arguments on this corridor holdings, and we are one of few people that we look at corridor holdings that we are doing fine up to 2015, 2016, and things begin go down for them by 2021, 20, and then they begin get issues with them staff them. And I was having a conversation, and the person categorically tell me, say, if you're not an employer, if you will take care of your staff them.
No, that is too simplistic. The employer they take care of his staff based on economic indicators. If your operational cost too high, how can you take care of your staff? If inflation is over the roof, how can you take care of your staff? If taxation is too burdensome, how can you take care of your staff? It's not a simplistic silver bullet kind of thing. It's a complex balance you get for keep between keeping businesses alive, but keeping workers and their families satisfied, and also having the right regulatory framework. I mean, sometimes it can be manipulated. And I'm glad the way my brother don't make a very, for the employer, the basic rule we give an exemption, now the ability to pay. That can be justified in many ways. If you get you technocrats in your company, we're good at that. You mentioned after sell. Then get top-notch administrators, they will mount a case where you go ask for refute. So that is just one side. But I mean, the other aspect where I think so for look at, you don't ask a very pertinent one where I think say scholars therefore really research on whether this increase in the minimum wage will indulge more of private sector involvement in the economy or will divulge it. That can be a whole question. But the secondary aspect in my thinking is with the new minimum wage at 1,200 and the government making a socio-political promise of creating 500,000 jobs, will it be proportionate? Government will be achieving dream with 500,000 jobs with this kind of minimum wage? Or will this minimum wage not dwarf the government's intention of 500,000 jobs? I think the technocrats need for come up with evidence-based analysis.
In your view, you think that we'll get more employment than out of unemployment?
It's called compliance. If the compliance rate is high, it might mean that we might. But if the lack of compliance is also, because those are things where the ILO talk about. The ILO, they're not follow. They're not say whether they make some of these conventions and some of these things, people are never get for comply and not comply. So if you have a judge in success, get for be with the utter compliance. Almost of these companies or employers generally go before comply. Based on the compliance rates, you go before do a forecasting. But if the number of, let's say, less than 50% of the employers that are in comply, it shows that the policy action is not working. So can you say it will advance the government agenda or it will retrogress it? So these are all, they should be evidence-based, not to sensation, not to hype, not to political rhetoric. These are evidence-based. These are things that where you get parameters, where you put all together and arrive at this. So now I make where we lost say, we review the minimum wage every 2 years. You get critical where they argue that the frequent adjustment of the minimum wage itself gets impact on employers. That's a other literature where they different, where other schools of thought then they argue. But for Sierra Leone, I think the thrust here is between the government and the employers, and federation and government is the fact that government understand that the poverty level is not equal to what people and they get, be they working for government or private sector. We should celebrate government for that. That is called sensitive governance. Government sensitive, whether it's under the Labour Congress pressure or whether under employers pressure, but it means that there is a need for be sensitive to the needs of workers and their families. Whether this is high or low, which is the fundamental question, I think this is still low. This minimum wage is still low. Whether it will be palatable for employers, I don't think so, because they will have a lot of arguments, because government not cut enough in other taxation sectors for give them a reprieve or a relief in terms of employers and waiting and spend pan and businesses.
All right, Edward, quickly, before we come up on the phone line, make we get people and take on this. I mean, a lot of people go scared of their job. Like you talk about, say, if this be the 2,000, people go cut down on 50% of the one they don't employ. I mean, how are they willing? Are they willing to comply?
I would say you outrightly that whatever we don't agree on will be implemented, and we'd expect employers for comply.
Okay.
That's why we'll be very
not expecting for comply.
Economical.
Not expecting for comply.
Yes.
Okay.
I use the word expect them because I will tell you, in the world of work, every worker in this country, we belong to a union, get what we call collective bargaining agreement. Indifferent from fixing of minimum wage. The collective bargaining agreement, for example, if you're a journalist with a battle now as to which collective bargaining agreements applicable to UNA, whether it should be services or it should be post and telecoms, the nature of job. So in those collective bargaining agreements, away from the minimum wage, which is 1-2, there are laid down allowances with the Employment Act creates for. For example, transport, rent, medical, leave. All they want, and if they add them to this minimum wage of 1-2, for example, in the telecoms, the least transport way the worker they get, now something like 600 leons.
Okay.
We use the worker fine arrangement. Tell you in town.
You know, one thing I don't want to use the word scary, but not confirm. We use the word if, and I mean, say not certain. Why?
I use the word if. I hope. Just give me a reminder on the particular phrase.
Yeah, you say if the minimum. I mean, you get other allowance. If, I mean.
Now the other allowances we did na the Employment Act. All workmen in this country covered with the Employment Act.
So if they meet up to that demand, that's exactly what you say.
No, it's a must. The minimum wage now.
But it's just a if they meet up to that day, then we get 600 loans for transport, and you want for quality. If
I believe let you understand that.
Or I just want for clear that if because you know.
No, okay, maybe it's an oversight.
Okay,
continue. So let's look at the transport.
But
one forget confirmation.
Availability of resources.
Make we understand.
So let's look, for example, the public utility. We cover port, Seratel, post office, electricity. The young CBA, no workman not the Naden company and they work also, where they pay below 1,200 none. Even the cleaner and a post office. In basic salary is above 1,500 leons. Okay. So it means then they are way from the minimum wage on a 1-2. Unfortunately, then they get neglect, and they suffer neglect from the main employer in our government, both Seratel and post office. Then they go for months without salary. But these are not good examples.
So don't pay attention to the other allowances there because.
So the other allowances there now. If, for example, they don't tell you, say you leave allowance for the year, now 15% of your annual basic.
Yeah.
They don't tell you, say, you medical for the year. We say every month you are entitled to 600 leons as medical within the add now your salary. They don't tell you, say, you rent for the year. Every month, then they put 540 leon now your salary. When you add all the one in the
plus
your gross plus your transport.
We're on 600.
Correct.
Okay.
You put all together, you see you gross they reach up to 2 point something. Plus or minus, you take home pay the day above 1.82 thousand. So we are aware of that for those workers we the collective bargaining agreements applicable to, and we know because sometimes the workman they don't know see any south they work they're supposed to give me transport allowance. They don't know see they're supposed to get rent allowance. Now what can get them privilege how they talk with on the listing, now they can go to office to we say, hey man, I so sad they work who CBA we cover me. So this is something we is specialized. We do it every 2 or 3 years as well. So the minimum wage, as we say, that 1-2 as the minister talk other things that they add to them.
Okay.
When they don't call so. But mind you, those allowances then they vary. The allowance when they begin at mining, it go different from the allowance when they begin at telecoms. Because you look in the telecom sector, you look in institutions like the Orange of Secutel. When you go into negotiation with them people, then they will not can get too much argument for agree into something because of the ability to pay. Wherein when you look institution like post office for go into negotiation with Orange. You understand? You begin to see problems. So technically, the ministry or the JCC, where they advise the minister, don't think and wise. Let we separate some people them. You will not get the ability to, now this sector, we put you there. You will be able to argue with this person. We do a rearrangement of the CBA for make sure she will not get streamed.
Quick one, everyone for open the phone line. I mean, this seems to be a sweet deal. At the end of it, all the allowance then they are added to the minimum wage. It seems to be a sweet deal.
It's not across the board. You hear from what you say. It's a case by case study. It depends on the institution you work for.
Okay.
And how they're able for pay. So if you go work in an institution when a Magbana, now the Magbana floor price now you go for based on them productivity as they call it. So for some people them they go say it's sweet, but for other people where their own brackets or then threshold they way below, it makes not much difference rather than what's not the minimum wage. But again, like I say, it's about the criteria and the bracket where you find yourself, or if you are in the level of government. Government gets several cater them by you cater where you do definitely not. So you allowances then they so it vary from case to case. But generally, like I say, we all agree that for the fact that the government get the sense and the other social players that okay, let something go up for people for workers and then conditions and then family. I think so that is sensible. Whether it's enough, I don't think it's enough. Whether much consultation can be done, that is dependent on level of compliance, and we hope. I mean, brother, be very, very diplomatic in comments when they talk about the expectation. The expectation is for compliance, but again, we don't see case of non-compliance. We don't cause serious problem, and I don't want to belabor the point with corridor holdings, but this is the right way to go, and unfortunately, not so January they take effect, and it would say April. I don't know if that's not the independence gifts where the government want for give for let the country give body water. I hope no more than go lift. So other bans.
Probably yes. I see one for answer. Why April?
Yeah, one clear that. If you look the minimum wage, May 1 last year, we get May Day celebration. President talked eloquently about the deplorable minimum wage. A reference different parts of the world, and then make declaration that the minimum wage negotiation for resume now and for ensure we do something for the workers of this country. So the minister straight away go into action. Whilst, just imagine in May 2025, now President make the declaration, then we only get 7 months down the line for concluding negotiation. So the ups and downs and all the other things, and when we meet now, the employer then say, this thing, by this time we don't conclude, so most of us don't do a budget. And in January, we know we no see this the calm. So no make no provision in our budget for this one. So give us allowance 3 months inside the new year, let we do another. You know, see, it has to do with budget. So the employer then present, and I tell you, this negotiation will do now one of the very critical negotiation because we get employers who are very
I think this get for some amount of political gain. I mean, the president gets plenty thing for talks to achieve when it comes to Labor Day.
No, we'll get into him. Interestingly, when he make the declaration and all what he say, we give this to him for say kudos to him because really.
I think it's about economic interest. The employers are very, very strategic. By April, you don't know the first quarter. You're able to ascertain whether you can comply or not.
Correct.
So it's we not for celebrate entirely it until we see the end of the first quarter and how this will be.
Because that's basically say they expect them for compliance.
And the business people in not to sensation, not to politics in a profit making. So you get to count the cost. So that excuse they all would be
that come in again. You see, what you say is perfectly correct. But I make we understand this. The minimum wage you don't announce them. There are things where the employers raise as concern. Taxation. So Labour Congress don't do a letter now to the Minister of Finance for say the cost of doing business, the taxes we levy on employers and the workers, we need for review.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so very much. I'm going to go for a short break, and when we come back, we're going to start picking up calls on 079 994 993. Stay tuned.
You don't ready for win big money every single day? Epic Radio they make them happen with bomba cash out. For just 10 millions no more, you can enter the draw and win 5 money straight inside your phone. No stress, no waste time. 10. Enter your orange money or Afri money pin and boom, now you that. You don't enter the draw. The more tickets you buy, the higher chance you get for win. And the best part na that, if they pick your number, the money will go straight inside your orange money or Afri money wallet. You don't even need for Canada station. So, what's you dey wait for? Dial *799*2# now and continue for listening to Epic Radio. If you know one of your lucky daily winners then. For more information, call the support center on this number yaso 032-300-033. Number cash out, money dey flow. Powered by Masslink Limited. This not a purpose to whether under 18 so play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
Epic Radio 99.3. It's so refreshing.
Pop! You see block, man? You see 10? You say it waka? But this na super kaiba. Look up. This na be brand new keke. Yes, so Boku super kaiba dem don boss. Ogen don pulado the mega campaign all over the country. Hey. Yes. Just dial *500# and buy top up and talk Boku and continue for the talk. Or dial *144# and pay with orange money and stand chance for win. Super prize them every week like solar kits, Okada, generator, and every month one person will win keke. Orange they give you the power for build your life, support your family, and better your community. Yourself can live this sober Kaiba life. Orange and orange money, the most rewarding, exciting, and connected brand na salon.
All right, welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. We'll start picking the calls on 079 994 993. We've got the first caller line. We'll get the logo online. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm afraid we seem to get an issue with the line there. 079 994 993. Now the number for be part of the Epic Morning Show. When you call, go straight to the point and stay within 1 minute. Hello, good morning. All right, the Lion, go ahead.
Allah help in this country.
Okay.
The law way too good on. Now for Canary do and always now for impress the internationally, but in the ground. But where they work now on site, even to the last year to the Lebanese there now in but months they meet months they meet inside company months. But the way how Salomon they suffer between them two that Lebanese Indians, the way where Salomon they suffer. And one thing where how they make now, you already say that then are the managers then. Where are the Sierra Leone and where are the managers then? But they treat Salomon. But it tell like say I don't know how to talk and when they go there, they tell you say what did happen? The police or the government then they inside their pocket. So you know what did they talk? How Salomon is suffer, but it's so pathetic. The money they so where she done this so. Tell me the way where did they pay them? But it passed 10 or 15 man or 20 man salary. Where she done so? Your salary where they earn. Salon, the one the way they would say, something at 10 or 15 man salary that one day.
Okay.
So, you know, what's in the talk, what's in the apple, it's so different. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's 079 994 993. Not the number for be part of the Epic Morning Show. I mean, a lot of things taken into consideration. Logo line again. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name is where you call from, please.
This is Abakar from Forex.
Abakar from X, go ahead.
Let God bless the issues we will try to discuss. You understand? I just get similar story to the small brother where they work to India man. They don't work under that India man there for over 10 years. They set up, take the oil and get camera and load them put, then take the oil and put them at the domot. At the end of the day, what happen now, na sadness I can because of the benefits waiting for them. We go na labor, go na their side and the all. When the labor with the people and when are the Indian man and the sleeper, you will go to case man at train and the theory. Then they see we work as them into wicked way. Look the kind way how we people them. And then
Then Lebanese there, then they take the young people away, then a jail man, then on that side, and carry them, go put them and then shop them here. Then they take the important parts, we the ordinary people away, now we the taught.
All right, thank you so very much. Now we pay attention to the minimum wage from 800 to 1,200, and make we talk within this mean, whether it's a progress or we still do with it and no improvements no make. So let's stay around that conversation there. Yeah, hello, your name and where call from. Good morning.
Yes, sir. How do you morning, sir?
Fine. Your name and where call from, please.
My name Santos. I call from Wellington Street.
All right. The minimum wage from 800 to 1,200. What now you take on that?
Me they work at security. I work for.
I'm afraid we get issue with our line there. And 079-994-993. We call. Now we talk about the minimum wage from 800 to 1,200. And when you take as a union, you think there is improvement. You think this a fair deal for workers in the country. Let's stay around that conversation there. I know people get personal issues, but let's stay around that conversation there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Julius Hyman Lee.
Concerned citizen, good morning.
God bless. Good morning to Melvin and the guests. Giving greetings to all.
Okay.
To the guests, you talk about government make increase of minimum wage from 800 to 1,200, 400. But you know, feel say that increase the government make small. Make I just draw you attention. Recently, the phone company make increment on them data or megabytes from 60,000 to 100,000. So for just a week, you spend 400,000 for buy data. You need other. You need the ordinary callback you get for buy because not all man they use smartphone or other phone. Away from that, government may say then they harmonize the salary. What you know that don't do for the harmonization of salary? I get me concerned, thank you.
Thank you so very much. I mean, salary harmonization for the past 2 years now. Well, we don't know how they as per now, but this is so much important. People use money for the plenty things on a daily basis. But for me to get take a look at which you cook per day, in according to Labour Congress, well, 150,000. So on that line, they look at one bag rice. I mean, so we'll go online again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and the side you call from, please.
Okay. This is Pabala the talk.
All right, Pabala, go ahead.
Waiting me on anxious is that cause and effect. What is causing the high cost of living? This is what we must address. If it's production, if it's food, we pay attention to the food side. We bring down the cost very low. The productivity in-house, we can be able to handle that. If not rental, we bring in rental properly within reach of people, then that is government. All these are government issues.
Okay.
We not just the businessman, he want to make profit, but we can reduce that profit, we can handle the thing internally, the cause and effect. That is my point. Let us look what are the causes of this, the high rate of inflation, so much the cost of living they go up. If we look at properly and address them nationally with seriousness, we can address all these issues. That's my point.
Thank you so very much. And 079-994-993, that number for be part of the Epic Morning Show from 800 to 1,200. I mean, what's your take? Hello, go online again. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Shada. I come from Central.
I said it from Central. Go ahead.
I want to understand. As the man from Labour Congress, you see, normally for announce the minimum wage na parliament area. But this one is not like the government actually, not affected. Because last year, there's so many deep and this year that about 1 million from somebody that it's like the workers affected by this. Because if they be affected, they don't factor into the budget. If we read the Minister of Finance because of the increase in the labor wage, and so money government will make provision for the wage bill, that was not done. It just kind of more up and was see it again na miata the minister got to go announce minimum wage. We know very well say as the minimum man say some man they get for downsize the workers because go put price for people there. They go decide say if I get 10 people, I will reduce them by 5. I will take that money there, add for another financial at this business we will go before. I mean, some of these things they might do. Me, I will understand. If I think believe me, I'm going to put that on the budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. 079-994-993 not the number for be part of the Epic Morning Show. Is this a fair deal? I mean, from 800 to 1,200. Good morning.
You see the logic and the imperfection of this government in logic. Now they say minimum wage. You add them by 50%. For God's sake, who send this government don't add salary by 50%? We're realistic. Because they know say this minimum wage are just announcements no more. They know they didn't follow for let people and then pay them money then they. Now them go say 50% minimum wage. But you as a government now, who say you don't add for you workers then? 50%. Now they tell the private man say let go add 50% for workers then. Now fair thing and they.
Thank
and
you.
For say you determine people and sufferness by one great event because they go pay 1 million for my then program. So my enjoyment that day, on a check on a records and clear. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It's 079-994-993. We'll take 2 more calls and try to wrap the 4th segment of the Epic Morning Show. Logo line. Hello, good morning.
Ivan, good morning.
Commander Jibo, good morning.
Ivan, may God make God go put you inside heaven and Epic Radio so far.
Amen.
Ivan, for me, ask question, but me they can answer the question. I will see the minimum rate from 500, 700 to 1,200. For me, na good use. I want to say bravo to the government of Sierra Leone. But in our limit though, I will let government monitor, especially brother where they na the labor. Ivan, all things hard na the country, but still Saloma me they collect 500,000. No way. Ivan, I want to tell you this morning. You want the market to pull up, they no buy. You better pass you don't know the market. So people that they bear the pain for collect 500,000, my brother, because there is no way for go. Something that they will not discuss on a radio. And people that they are them private institutions, they not go talk, say me na 500 and they pay me, then they kick you out. The man na die, they go die.
Right.
So from 700, from 800 you go to 1,200, me come and Ajibu. I say bravo.
Thank you.
Because even when government will say 800, still some people that they collect 500,
Thank
600,
thank
700.
you.
Would that deny that kind of a
Thank you
Because
so
people
very
will
much.
count it.
Thank you so very much, Commander Jibo. We don't, exceed the time. We'll take one last caller and try to wrap the 4th segment of the Epic Morning Show. Logo line again. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Evan.
Good morning, Namta.
Thank you very much, my brother. I want to plenty thank you. The panelists, Medrin. First and foremost, I listen to brother Lamin. Lamin, 50% of 800 na 400. So now 50% agreement government do. Check your mathematics well. First and foremost, we don't commend the government for whatever little they increase. They say if a loaf is better than no. They don't do. We commend them for the increment, but the money not do. Considering the cost of living. So whatever little effort man make, commend them. Then you urge them back say, I don't try, but una add more, you don't do. People they live on magic in this country. That may come from Boku, my brother. That may come from Boku. That 1,200, a final from last start in January, but till April under, it's still far. But I recommend now, then do more persevere. You need for put this money to 2,500 safe. They will manage minimum wage. Then please, we don't Labour Congress because we don't get problem. We don't stick the interest of border there at all. We don't get good thing. All the workers them always the cry Labour Congress because the people they breadwinner that are the allegations with the allegation.
Thank
you. So we type of fight for a company, selling them for the good of our country and for Bambai for the place. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I will not take any more call again. Melvin, you don't listen to the callers. Concerns are there. I mean, to continue whether if this is fair deal or not? You think will be response to the callers?
I think we agree I want to tell callers then Tenki and the listeners, Tenki, it's clear that the consensus view now that people commend the action, but still we agree also that the increase low. And I think to the point where many people are not echo we for do it, why not take effect January 1 when at the start of the fiscal year. And that is owing to the fact that within somebody, the old theory that because it does not affect government directly per se, but it does because government can never go below those standards. I sense this growing resentment on, of course, there is this concern about compliance where me go on keen about looking ahead. How will compliance be monitored when it actually eventually come into effect? And what happens in the case of lack of compliance? Are we going to see employers being punished? And how will those mechanisms pan out? But of course, as a Sierra Leonean, I can feel so bad we may country people and they complain in the hands of, well, not all Lebanese and Indian man are foreigner, but most of them are. And by virtue of that, I think say if we get a local content policy, it not just get for do with institutions, but it deal with the workforce itself should be protected when it comes to local content. And I agree, many of them cases of abuse of workers' rights, they are aided and abetted by people who are indigenous Sierra Leoneans. And I think say this will stop. And that's where I want for beseech the Labour Congress, the Ministry of Labour and the commissioners for make sure that, let Saloma suffer and come be Saloma, and that is reasonable. But Saloma, you not Saloma, you suffer at the hand of somebody that is maybe of not a Sierra Leonean descent. This is not xenophobic, but it's just the nationalistic reality that we don't depend this for too long. We need radical actions. You Indian man, no go, with all due respect, they are contributing to the economy. But see where Saloma no go do now India. Elect that Indian man in India can put bread now with mots. We not for tolerate them from her. See where Lebanese man no go do now shattered Lebanon. We not for tolerate them for happy now. And these are things where these are growing injustices where they happen in workplaces. We get several other far-reaching effects, psychologically, socially, and other. It's so disgusting.
Okay.
And I hope that authorities then will look at some of them complaints there and make sure that action is being taken. And lastly, I think with this kind of conversation moving towards the new year, doing it take effect on the start of the year, I think we the governance architectures are working, no matter what you say. And yes, I go concur that the amount low and it should be increased because the cost of living so high and enforcement modalities will be put in place so that people then go pay this money if they're able for pay. And government therefore keep fingers across on this probability cause, which is, and somebody make a brilliant say look for examining the cause and the effects of this. That goes to evidence base, and also government self and the union for keep their fingers crossed, because at the end of the day, if the employer is not able for pay, then towards what end? So we all for the open pray and fast, as the case may be. Let this be realistic.
Thank you so very much. Edward, quick one.
Yeah. I go into the last caller for say we self-commend President Bio at least for we open the dialogue and we get this increment. The comfort why they give to the public now that whilst we they conclude, we all at the panel, the GNNB, the board agreed that the next minimum wage will go be 2027, go be discussed under the parameter of living wage.
Okay.
We mean say somebody for able get money for take care of himself and for able save small thing, we work towards that. Another thing we able identify from waiting we got about cost and effect. We know they say the cost of doing business, the taxation. So we don't get the responsibility now Labour Congress for engage government for ensure say do ya the taxes we you put. Look for example GST. You reimagine and they bring pay GST from Wataki to the shop to use for the go for go buy. The workman, they look at the tax on leave allowance, the tax on end of service benefit, the threshold for PAYE. These are all things so they try for deal with for meet up the April. Because maybe by the time they reach April, government go to announce it, the threshold safe when at 600, it don't move up. Because what's not be with arguments that I would accept 1.2 if it would be tax free. So that conversation that starts in April, in January, we don't send we letters them, we go down that conversion. By the time they reach April, government will make another declaration, we will make people. No, we are not.
Thank you.
Even if they don't announce something, they can carry another paper.
Thank you so very much, Edward, and that of Melvin for that. We actually already gone out of time. Quick one with BNB Cash App. You can send or receive money anytime, anywhere. Just download the BNB Cash App today on Google Play Store for Android users or App Store for iPhone users. And for any inquiries, you can call our customer service on 072-500-0000. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for that time for being part of the Epic Morning Show. Entertainment and sports lined up for you, and Marion Precious George is all set for the second segment of the Epic Morning Show. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. My name is Evan Julius Lee. Good morning.
When you dey do this festive season, when you send money overseas with BNB, use the BNB Cash App, or you visit any BNB agent all over the country, you stand chance for win brand new smartphone. Whether you dey do payments with the business partner them abroad, or you want to share love with your family and people when they close to you na your homeland, BNB they cover you any side you dey. Send money today and enjoy well secure and fastest transfer experience anytime. Bam, now you that. Once you deal with BNB, if you want to know more, call the customer service team na the number ya 072 500 000 or 080 500 000. BNB they send joy and gladdy all over the country this festive season.
You dey look for best betting experience? Register with 1xBet today and enjoy when you register with 1xBet. I say, then go give you 200% bonus by your first deposit. And when you complete your registration, side day, we then go ask you for put your official promo code. Just put AMS 232. 1xBet. Try get on your phone. 1xBet get fine game them like casino game, card game, and they all get sober winning. They get football, basketball, tennis, and boku other one them with live updates. Register with your phone and make sure say you register with valid ID card. And when you done your registration, screenshot them for Bambai. You can withdraw and deposit with Colats, with Orange Money, Afri Money, 1xBet Cash, MasterCard, or Visa Card. 1xBet, they sponsor La Liga, Serie A, League One, Confederation of African Football, and a partnership with FC Cologne. That not done, then get them brand ambassador them like Yemata, the Laughing Matter, Crack Twist and Zamza, Robino the comedian, and plenty other one them. 1xBet, play on today, forget you're winning. And not forget to bet responsibly. The office there Lumley Beach Road by Empire Night Club. But if you're not able to reach there, call on a telephone number 076 100 338 or 078 206 171. 1xBet, I'll win you this week.
Epic Radio 99.3. It's so refreshing.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Updates for the second day of the week. And we'll start off with some local and Star Sports Academy executive owner winner Yakuba Tawali don't praise the performance of in players against Eastern Lions despite them get a draw. And Kalidou Koulibaly don't confirm say he go prefer for win the African Cup of Nations than for even qualify for the World Cup. Gotta be a strong one from the Senegalese captain. And Achraf Hakimi and Under Armour don't unveil the boots where Achraf Hakimi go use in the Nations Cup for Morocco, despite if they miss out in their opening game when they win by 2-0. And Nico Williams don't confirm that he gets a lot of admiration for Wilfred Zaha, as Wilfred Zaha, the player where he done the look up to so many years since he be a young man when Wilfred Zaha be to play for Crystal Palace. So here is a breakdown for Jake Paul and with the where he fed Anthony Joshua. So Jake Paul in total make 92 million. Now he make just 16 minutes where he spent on the ring for fight against former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. And finally, Crawford don't be crowned International Male Fighter of the Year in the Boxing Award of 2025. For this morning, all this will get for you inside Sports Updates.
Hello, good morning and welcome to your second edition of the entertainment news here on the Epic Morning Show with me, Big Daddy. So starting here, of course, after 5 decades, the Grammy finally don't honor Fela Kuti. Well, in 2026, he will be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award for the Recording Academy, an award reserved for legends who changed the music. Well, of course, if you know that Fela Kuti, he created Afrobeat. They call him the Black President because he spoke for the people. His lyrics, melody carried truth, resilience, and freedom across Africa. And of course, in other news, so Burna Boy was in Ghana performing as usual. We know what can happen when a fan run to Burna Boy on stage, but in Ghana, a fan run to Burna Boy for give money, and Burna Boy stopped the entire show and say, well, this is unusual because other fans they come for do craze, but this one can't give me money, and Burna had to multiply that money for the fans. So that's alone have left the fans them so happy on that particular show. And of course, Sweet Cassava Leaf Bread. So Cassava Bread, of course, the song is out now, sung by Pilot Flame, Hero Black, and Jakey Jake. Is out on every digital platform. It's been long, so it's about that time. Try dusting off my mic after almost 2 years. I know they even work fine. Of course, Shadow Boxer is back and he already don't pull what Nado say he wants the best engineer. Well, Nashitu and others, he's reaching out now and he want let the fans them choose who die for work with because it's past 3 years and it's about that time he does all those mic, now the studio. And of course, not forgetting BSK Music Famous No Pressure concert where they happen now. Chapter 1 comes Sunday 4th January 2026, and of course for now if you buy tickets now 1,000 loan, and if you wait until you go na gate on Sunday the 4th you go buy 1,500. So you can reach out now and get you tickets now for just 1,000 loan. For you will go one for book table, this is not the number we go call +232 33 383 175 in case you want for book a table. And don't forget, say come Friday, the rap rampage continue now Victoria Park, and of course for just 40 loans, this could be the 4th final. So you will be miss out the 3rd final. You could join the rap rampage team. Let's know who's going to be the winner. And finally this morning, Turn Me Life Around, a song by Michael Jonah, is out now on every digital platform. Be blessed. Of course, Salon Gospel don't turn to a different this night live recording. Listen and enjoy.
To the left, to the right, to the left, hey.
never let me go. Does it.
Always turn me like
You don't ready for win big money every single day? Epic Radio they make them happen with bomba cash out. For just 10 leons no more, you can enter the draw and win 5 money straight inside your phone. No stress, no waste time. And now so you go take joy. Dial *799*2# and choose how much tickets you want. From 1 to 10. Enter your orange money or after money pin. And boom, now you that. You don't enter the draw. The more tickets you buy, the higher chance you get for win. And the best part is that if they pick your number, the money will go straight inside your orange money or after money wallet. You don't even need for Canada station. So, what's you they wait for? Dial *799*2# now and continue for listening to Epic Radio. If you know one of the lucky daily winners then. For more information, call the support center on this number also 032-300-033. Number cash out, money they flow. Card by Masslink Limited. This not a purpose to whether under 18 so play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
1xBet presents an exciting world of entertainment. In the 1x games, you will find Crash, Dice, Apple of Fortune, Money Wheel, and other exciting games with many chances to win big wins. Go to the website 1xbet.sl or app, enter promo code GAMESL and receive welcome bonus up to 36,800 leons plus 150 free spins. Fun to play, fast to win. It's your best chance to grab your luck with 1xBet.
I hope that our visitors would listen to this song carefully, because it's true. They're trying their best to stop our progress with bad propaganda. I mean the foreign press. Bad things are blown out of proportion and spread all around. But the good things of the island they will never mention. Like our scholars have sit and passed every test. There's nothing about that in the foreign press.
Edmond Baker once said one difference between some successful and unsuccessful people. Now that's one group full of doers, while the other group full of wishes. Hello and welcome to the second segment of the Epic Morning Show, where they come to you on 99.3 FM, Radio Garden, Facebook, and you go get me through website at myepiconline.com. Me, now you host Marion Precious George. And inside the show this morning, governments don't sign health cooperation agreements with the United States of America government. And also, Office of the President announced new appointment, and Judiciary issue out updates on drug-related cases and convictions. All of the stories plus the review of various newspapers they inside the show this morning. And for joining me to discuss these issues, I get inside the studio Reginald Brian Ojukutu-Soya. Good morning, Reginald.
Thank you very much. Good morning again, and good morning to listeners.
One day, we have less than 2 days to Christmas. How does it feel like from your end?
Well, I think the only thing more paramount for me now is, of course, the fact that we are alive. Every one of my family members in their life. I could recall last year by 10 years. Just a day to Christmas, like the 24th, we be getting back and we make the Christmas not been fine. We lost me until last year, like I say. Okay. So that not happening for now. I think it's better and all. And then I mean, even though we not get holiday, we get for the camp for car walk. But we are I'm just being grateful that that they are alive and everything they go well. And I mean, that's just the most important thing. Even though some man go say, in terms of the economy and all other things, but sometimes in life you look at the bigger picture,
Yeah,
the
sure.
fact that you're just able for see the day, it's a fantastic moment as well.
Yeah, at this moment, you get a lot of people where perhaps they're in a hospital bed and not able for celebrate, even if they not get whatever it takes for celebrate. But if you get a healthy life and whatever, it's better than being bereaved or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to look at various stories reported on the front page of the newspapers, and I get the Concord Times when I'm a first take this morning, and a big banner headline reads, Freetown prison built for 324 inmates now holds 1,624, and this is according to the audit report. And IOM ATPS use football tournaments to campaign against irregular migration. Another story reported embracing cultural integration, the ongoing contributions of China Railway 7th Group in Sierra Leone. And as well, you get BSL cuts policy rates to 16.75%. All of the stories and more you go get now the Concord Times newspaper this morning.
And me on first speaker this morning at the Awoko newspaper, top story reads, Guardians of Peace, Jala University confer top honor on IGP Fire Selu, and also we get Legacy of Healing, NOS, LNEA, celebrates new public health guidance, and also we have $129 million Lifeline US and Sierra Leone forge health revolution pact, and then a star salute the video bring Afrobeat glamour to State House ahead of beach spectacle. And finally, morgue, pens and public safety police chief unusual gift bring holiday chairs and key message to Freetown streets. All of these stories and more, they now the front page of the Awoko newspaper.
And away from the Awoko newspaper, the Independent Observer newspaper reports SLPP Central District Chairman launches reconciliation and unity drive. A big banner headline, we are not killers but healers, Dr. Alhaji Sulaiman Kabar. And VP shares end of year moment with staff. And another story, a quiet pattern of exclusion, revisiting Dama Safa Siaka, Yeni's sovereign authority in Sierra Leone's political history. And as well, Pan Lamp Christmas lost joy. All of the stories plus Mr. President Can We Talk part 305 day at the front page of the Independent Observer newspaper. And there ends the review of various stories reported on the front page of the newspapers. But there is this, talk around town about the Sierra Leone police giving out gifts. And as the newspaper we read, Reginald make mention, it's unusual. I'm sure it's happening for the first time. And people are asking questions, waiting really change. And why is it that Sierra Leone police think of sharing gifts this Christmas season?
To me, when I read there, I was shocked and all. One day, like you say, I'm not ever this to happen before. I'm not saying ever to happen. Maybe it could happen, but not to me, your knowledge and all. So it's kind of very much surprising that we see such they happen. Sierra Leone police decide for put smile and some cities in them face. Particularly at this moment, I think it's one way somebody in a wildest dream or imagination not be the expect or not go feel say something like such they happen or for happen. And now finally it has happened, and also it says to the police there. I think this is transformation where then they work towards.
The reform.
Yes, the reform from a force to a service. A lot of things that they we don't see now. It's a good one. I see them put and say pen, mugs, and all, and this will have cost millions of leones for put all of those things together. So it's kudos to them for the initiative alone. Yes, for bringing up something like that, and particularly something where the entire public nobody expect at this point in time, and the fact that they're able to do it's indeed massive for them. So for say kudos to the Sierra Leone police.
Okay.
And we hope they will continue for do something like such in other holidays them as well.
Yeah, sure. Away from that, we'll look at some stories where I make mention of. The first one we'll deal with now the government of Sierra Leone and the government of United States of America. We don't sign landmark memorandum of understanding on health cooperation. We then say mark a major milestone in the long-standing partnership to as way for strengthening the country health system and protect the population from infectious disease. Also, according to reports during the signing ceremony, they say this is a 5-year agreement where they run from 2026 to 2030, where the Minister of Health, Austin Demby, signed alongside the charge the affairs of the United States Embassy na Freetown, and the money way involved now 129 million United States dollars. Reginald.
It's a huge investment, I would say. It's a big boost, particularly for towards the health sector. We all know how the health sector done the struggle. Sometimes they will tell you that they are underfunded and all of those other things as well. And this is one of the sectors where they expect they get enough of revenue for able to care about different types of concern them or health-related activities them. So I'm sure this will just give them that kind of lifeline way that they expect and try for also, help them for execute some of the things that we then they set their eyes on for do. So it's for me, it's a step in the right direction. The only thing we can happen when some of them things here, so when we care about such money, Marion, is how the implementation they work. How do we ensure that we're able we get value for money at the end of it? Because that's the most important thing. If anybody they give certain thing, I want for ensure say there is absolutely value for money and all, and you're able to get the result. So I think the governments on their own aspect will be thrilled with such kind of donation where they come in at this point in time. But how will they use this? I see them put the MOU now for establish ambitious time-bound target where we get to look about the dramatically reduced death from HIV and put tuberculosis and malaria and also measles, yes, and I see them put about lower maternal and under 5 mortality rate, which we know say drastically don't reduce over the years. Now we so that is also progress, because initially we, for example, NACRA they pull a report, they see the amount of maternal mortality rate, how they increase, but now over the years we don't see a sharp decrease in them as well. So all of those things being put together, I think say this MOU, if at all and go to all of the things already in the document, it go boost the health sector and it will be very good. The last one I was strengthening outbreak, there's a detection and a response within 7 days of emergency. So these are very, very good, signs or good things that they've put together already. And we just hope that this MOU, they don't sign Marion, go bring a lot of good things to Salone.
Okay, and we just don't be joined by James, cameraman inside the studio. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Marion, and good morning to the listeners.
Now, they talk about this MOU with the government of Sierra Leone and the government of United States signed, and we they look at the health sector, and a lot of questions being asked. Though this is a welcoming news, but people will envisage that where President Trump and new reform them come into play, perhaps Sierra Leone will not be benefiting from a lot of things from the United States government, but it seems as if it's not like that. Donald Trump is just trying to, put things in place in the country, but all other things, most of other, help with them don't end to countries, and most of still they in place.
Yes, Marion. One thing we need to establish is that every leader will come for who the country, they get in policies that they come with, they get in flagship programs where they come with. So for Donald Trump, when he come, he gets in policies that we set aside. When he feels say if we told some funding to Africa and he states some of the countries that way that they withhold funding and other sponsorship where Sierra Leone also be included. So when we get down to say Sierra Leone said we feel happy, there were so many murmurings around why this will happen, why not will happen. That's what you see. We serve as a country, we need to hold up to responsibility. We don't need to wait for the other countries to sponsor before we institutions be strong enough. We set for able for building institutions. We set for able for fund the institutions them. We don't need for wait. So when Donald Trump come with that kind of decision, we see how it may happen. But just of yesterday, we see that say Salon in America don't sign $129 million health funding to Salon, which I welcome in one.
Yeah.
We for be happy. We for always will appreciate that this is coming from America. This is a country where there in Salon don't they get one or two tussle, especially when it comes to the recent announcement of the ban with Salon and for enter America. And so if America come again and can give you $129 million for me to sign for strengthening the health sector, I think we appreciate them. They say beggar have no choice. But however, as Sierra Leoneans, we still plea because most Sierra Leoneans, them, in as much as they could benefit from this health sector where they go strengthening, also plenty Sierra Leoneans, also me and you too, say we get family members over and other people that get family members where they sponsor them with some of their educational fees like university fee. Now from there they come out.
So what if the United States government thinks, say perhaps one of the cry of Sierra Leoneans are that most of them can go to the US or can seek for visa for travel because of for the one for go for medical and all of these things. When some of the reasons make them they decide for pour money into Sierra Leone, so people are not going to use that as an excuse for travel to the US.
Now one thing, Marian, I don't follow dig too much because if you so they dig, come here today. This not today America don't fund when it comes to health sector.
Yeah, I know. Right?
And not to Sierra Leone, the only country where America don't fund when it comes to the health sector. But then leaders them, in as much as they will get good health system like their country. But most leaders will left in your own country, go another country, like America, for go seek medical attention. So it's not about us, you giving us money for medical strength health sector, but mean say we not go America.
Okay.
No, we go America because everybody in wish for go US. Everybody in wish, or most people in wish now for go to Europe. We start to face a better life, the better system, the better structure daily. So in as much as if they will give you no means that they go to Italy, we not go America. No, we still want to go there. People want to go there. People have ambition to go there. People want to go study in America. People want to go study the system. People want to go there, live in a better environment, to get a very clean, peaceful environment.
Okay.
So people want to go there. So not to like say that then I go make no Sierra Leone no for come. So we still dey play. In as much as they don't give you this, government of Sierra Leone don't sign this, we still as Sierra Leoneans they will play. People we want for go there, we get dreams for go America. Make Donald Trump say hi before let's see the ban. And so that's
the Minister of Foreign Affairs
make
mention of that.
We appreciate them, yeah.
Say then they in talks with US for see how they can able for revisit some of those measures they don't put against Sierra Leoneans.
Yes, you go find, and
Okay.
that will be a very good news for we. And we also said, okay, so you talk about the bone, you talk about the beef, you talk about the bone. We said when they lift up, they will not do overstay because I think that one of the issues that America get to Salon, they say too much of overstay.
Okay.
And the other reasons they even say about we don't want to allow deportees of kind of country. These are side issues then, but the underlying factor that Sierra Leoneans have been banned from entering into America, in as much as we appreciate their sponsorship when it comes to health sector, but to still plead that
other sectors.
and other sectors, but still they plead with it that Donald Trump is able for lift the ban on Sierra Leone.
Okay, away from that, we'll look at another story we get for the Office of the President announcing new appointment. In a public notice dated 22nd December 2025, the Office of the President make mention of two new appointments. One get for do with Mr. Sheku Ahmed Tunis, where the appointed as Executive Director for the National Protected Area Authority, and also Miss Loretia Marian Sheriff or so, board member Gumavalu coming in. But one of the appointments we catch the attention of a lot of people. Now the way we get to do it, Sheikh Ahmed Tunis, where they appointed as the Executive Director of National Protected Area Authority. This institution now one way we don't get issued with the Minister of Environment quite recently, or a few months ago, we will report this particular issue where we get to do with the National Peninsula, the Western Area Peninsula Park, where the minister may make mention, say, this particular executive director from the authority may get some kind of underhand game the way they play at the Peninsula Park, where make people let me they encroach and then they sell the Peninsula Park land, where they make bring up a lot of controversy and they may get a lot of issue. And quite recently again, we may get a report that the minister be ask some of the other staff them out of the office, NPPA. And this we don't go back and forth. The executive director we don't state some of the things that will happen and say not guilty of such, and even accuse the minister of several things. But now we are seeing that the president appointing somebody for serving the capacity of executive director of NPPA, leaving this particular person will be get issued with the minister of environment. Out of office, Reginald. Now, this is now one issue where you self may don't follow up on.
Thank you very much. I normally can say coming events, they cast and shadow. And when I see the appointment yesterday from the office of the president, of course, we know say the constitution give the president the power for hire and fire. Sometimes with the, sometimes with the approval of parliament, sometimes without the approval of parliament, in fact. Some are like subjective appointment and all. So when you look at the activities where will happen at the NPAA, we are the National Protected Area Authority, you know that it was definitely one way not being good. In other words, the relationship between the minister, Ajiboye Abdullahi, and the executive director, the outgoing executive director of Fire Kamara, it was then we get a strained relationship. And the ministry, when I then they play supervisory role to the NPAA, I mean, if they are not seen eye to eye, then you know they expect for make the work go well. And that is not the first ministry. In fact, this is not the first problem where ministries and departments don't they face. It don't happen a lot of time. There are interministerial coordination or interdepartmental coordination between ministers, and this a lot of time then they be problem. Now, when you look at this issue, it basically has to do with a lot maybe they boil between the water. In fact, the outgoing executive director, they say from the one the minister not be lekam. The minister they sideline the office, they give contracts to other people that will not be there, they undermine. These were all some of the things. To the extent to this issue also have been brought before the chief minister. But the fact that for making it lead to what it don't lead to now tells you that even the chief minister go on try and best, but not able for resolve. And the best way for make them go ahead of this now for relieve a fire.
Putting a rest to this particular issue, or is it that perhaps they don't carry out investigation and find this person, this executive director, wanting?
Well, it could be two of them. I'm not going to tell you the exact one because me not to a staff of the NPAA or neither the Ministry of Environment. But again, from what me know as a journalist, like this one issue with me particularly be done the follow. I remember I don't go to Ministry of Environment countless time. I don't go to NPAA countless time. I don't interact with the executive director one-on-one. Sometimes I don't interview. We don't talk. And from what he tell me and from what he myself know in this Marion, I will tell you the efforts were made to resolve this matter. I thought there was another point where even the minister sent people, the office was closed. Yeah. And they not even allow the executive director for good.
So now, it's possible that perhaps the chief minister don't know, say, this executive director not going to work with the minister of environment to make them pull them from the office. Yes. Perhaps go get them another appointment.
Well, no, see as whether I could get an appointment or so. But again, when you look at the issue, maybe they happen. Now, one we get to deal with conflict of interest. It's one person they see like, this overlap, one for overlap, in all on me, all and all. Similar something they happen now. In fact, they happen at sports where they not resolve it between the Minister of Sports and the Executive Director for the National Sports Authority. So, and that they undermine, and also we see something like that maybe happen now. The Ministry of Social Welfare between the Disability Commission and also is it Kone Vandi? Yeah, Vandi Kone rather, and also the Minister. Melrose. Yeah. So these are things that don't happen. It tells you that going into 2026, President Bioge for be really watchful in some of their ministries, because again, these are appointments made by the same person. And we're taking bad now that most of the time the people they say, you afterwards now appoint me.
Yeah, and most of the time it can be that now the executive director that then can relieve from the duty and
they know they pull the ministers. Exactly. In most of the case, now so it can happen, like you say. So going forward, this is just a case study where I feel say if it don't happen 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, or countless time, don't tell you that the president need for putting attention there now and see how we can able for ensure that then they coordinate together. If the minister that they appoint who are then comfortable for work with, it's not bad. But if the president is appointing someone for act in certain capacity,
for the fact that the president appoints somebody for acting a certain capacity for make the minister work with that person, because the appointment is coming from the president. Not the other way around. For say, I'm not able to work with this person because of one reason or the other.
A lot of ministers, the problem they can get now that, well, this person I'm not comfortable for. I'm not comfortable. A lot of them not the work eye to eye. Even in government ministries, these are some of the problems where they happen. And such things, where they continue for you, they make good not they happen in governance. Because governance, you need every hand on deck for ensure say you're able for push on our policies and go before. But of course, the appointment has been made now to even though I'll tell you when you interact with the rangers are the people who can send out the field. A lot of them be in support of the outgoing executive director. It was in a good working relationship with them. In fact, now some of the people that the man don't transform the place and all. So what happened? Outside the relationship go wrong and all of those things. We hope that the president will look into them as well. And it has been relieved now. So the first time the minister be go lock the office, he was still going there, he was still working and all. But the fact that he has been relieved of his duty, and this time around it's coming from the office of the president, I think the best thing for him now to do is to pack his belongings and leave the office and ensure he gets a smooth transition to the new individual when as soon as they don't pick for go replace another office.
Yeah, man, what do you think about this issue? Well, you said we don't follow for quite some time.
Yeah, I feel everybody just feels President Bill gets right, an absolute right for decide who that he wants to work with and who that he appoint and who that he sack. Here's the issue where we just don't highlight some of the things that when we don't happen, when we happen between the outgone executive director when Mr. Fire and also the minister. We also don't notice these are issues that we normally they happen between ministers and sometimes we can say permanent secretaries or directors. Minister can come, a one for council oversight, one for show say, a one for show overpower. That's I would say that because if minister don't come, if you say the permanent secretary or the executive director subjective to instruction, subjective to when I feel again we lawmakers a need for the visit that particular sector they will come to the Civil Service Act, because here, if you get a political head, an appointment is being made by the president, it means at any time the president can call him. Yeah, the permanent secretary, now a civil servant, and stay that department there, stay that ministry there. So then you dismiss as very difficult for when you pull and come out there. So you where they come.
Now you try for work with them.
You try for work with this person when you can meet. Okay. But then when they come as minister, it's very difficult to make them see eye to eye, especially perhaps sometimes if the minister sometimes policy with the carries.
Not only permanent secretaries, but even directors.
Yes, directors.
We have a ministry right now where we don't hear rumors about, the minister will come in not wanting to work with the directors, they sideline them, and so many other things.
Yes, so many other things. So it can be sometimes the minister in policy with the carries. It not match up to the policy of the institution, or it not match up with the policy of the director,
or it not just one for work,
or it just not one for work. Sometimes some of them can get personal vendetta against each other. So the moment you see Mr. X can work with Mr. Y, it becomes a problem. But here's the thing: where I feel say lawmakers they need for do, they need for revisit a particular act for sure. Say, at least when you come as a minister, now president appoints you. So it means there should be a law where the for distinguish who that gets rights, who that answerable to this person. Because for me, I feel say minister and you they come, and you go. alternative President Bill want or the president wants for make he left the office, he left. But that permanent secretary or that executive director there, he stayed at the institution, and at the hub of that institution, and at the foundation of that institution. Without him, the institution don't move. And you where they come, now you go for learn from them. So if they always they see this dismissal because the president get power for sack and hire, we will continue for the go. Now just a circle decision to where president in, president out. They make we see the other way may happen between MB Attila and Gauja, the Minister of Social Welfare, some years back. You know,
was it not Moi Joy?
Moi Joy Kai. Yeah. So you don't see. So I mean, issues then President Anders Bakumame did for dismiss the minister. You see, so it's an issue where it reoccur. So there should be a situation where, as I say, the lawmakers need to revisit that particular act and see how they can make amendments to so that the two people that are able for work at par, not to separately or they hit on themselves. On a daily basis.
Okay, finally, before OP calls, the judiciary of Salone don't inform the general public that, effective 25th October, and they make mention of, different things same way they don't do as a way of updating the public about drug-related cases and the conviction them so far we don't happen. And according to a notice where they pull now, they make mention of the cases where they don't deal with so far. And part of the cases, you get sentences where range from 10 years to 35 years. Some people serve jail time for 12 years, 10 years, 30 years, 40 years, 35 years, and all related to the offenses of drug-related issue. They make mention of a few people that were go state say, one Sheikha Kamara, where the offense now be unlawful possession of prohibited drugs, where the date for conviction now be the 23rd October 2025. They may sentence until 12 years imprisonment, and some other one them get 15 years, some get 10 years, some get 30 years, some even get 40 years imprisonment. And according to the judiciary, this is not just a way for updates the public about the speedy trial when it comes to issues of drug-related cases, where them don't assure the public say then go deal with. And quite recently, again, we see them put out new measures or some of laws them we then say then go by in terms of fighting the issue of drug. We don't become another thing at the country regional.
I want to really commend the judiciary for such an update. I mean, first this information they will be strained for get not the media, but now I think since the appointment of the Chief Justice now come back, we really see a lot of improvement in terms of the dissemination of information, which is very good. It's good because when you look at the time when they start, the 25th October. So date now, it's almost 2 months. We just get 3 days, right? For make it be 2 months exactly, and they don't try for secure 20 conviction, like you say, right? For and their one and the conviction is not only against Sierra Leonean but other citizens as well, which is very good as well. So I think it is a right step. It's a step in the right direction, and they also put an they not only focus on placing fine. All the one there we cancel. In fact, no charge, no they have been fine charges them, but now one the way they go for significant years na prisons or correctional center. So I would definitely like to commend the judiciary, and we hope that they will not stop. They will continue, because we understand and still get other cases them. And almost all the cases then get similar offenses them now. Unlawful possession of prohibited drug.
80 cases and don't convict
20,
so you get 60 more.
Yes, which is like they
that number they get for add up.
Do we say 1 quarter or so? Then still get like 3 more quarter towards that one, and other one in the way as well. I believe say go don't come up, and also we're expecting them for continue. They no need for stop now. They need for continue by giving us the information, by ensuring that they do the speedy trials them. By ensuring, and sometimes not only for this drug, but also other cases. I mean, this could be a way to go, but other cases we don't say in fact we do not call it. May them call them cases and they then give speedy trials and all. I think say the one for this drug, yes, we know say it's timely, it's an emergency, but if they extend that to other cases there as well, where they in a possession, then I think say it will be good as well.
So, man, a quick one on this. I think the people that them don't convict before the new measures where the judiciary puts are kind of lucky in the sense that when you look at the release, the people them where them don't convict early October or so, October 12 and all of this, then get 10 years, 12 years, but during some of the, the laws them where then put, then say somebody, will get, anybody when they convict, go get a conviction where no less than 30 years. And some here, they get 12-year conviction, 10 years and all.
Yes, I'll just take a look at the act and see whether it is within the Drugs Control Act of 2008. They say, when I did look at it states that a jail term for somebody with traffic drugs, whether it is sell them, it is buy them, or it is smoke them, it is take them, they say liable for imprisonment for not less than 5 years. It's a mandatory minimum, and in practice court under imposed long term of serious cases. So it means it's according to the Drugs Act, the Drugs Control Act of 2008, now 5 years they inside here. But here's the thing: also of December 2025, the Salo Judiciary say that they take a stricter measure as how to punish people where they found guilty of drugs trafficking, where they say the minimum age, the maximum the jail term na 30 years. Where now with the system, so this are custodian sentence they give these people. But the one the way Sabi law will tell you, they will go one for argue and say, waiting Parliament be don't pass and waiting then at the act where they don't sign. Now the judiciary for go with.
But since then to now, anybody don't put up arguments regarding the new measures by the judiciary.
A write-up from Chadi.
Okay.
Challenge when the judiciary may pull out that new directive. They will try for challenge.
So apart from Chadi, we get lawyers, we get human rights lawyers, we get the Human Rights Commission and all of this.
Well, they're not put up that make we journalists, we get the obligation as well for bring out issues. Okay. Perhaps when we bring it out, maybe you will ring a bell to them and say, oh no, let's not look at within the judiciary whether it's correct or not. However, the judiciary, now in discretion, there's under section 7A, section 7.4, anybody we then catch within this act, under the Drugs Control Act, for jail up to 30 years, then they put that one day. So we don't know who side the strength could come out for do that. But however, now a good one for make them able for help the government for see how they can curtail these drugs traffickers. You see now we don't say it all the minimum. We know say still they take them, people still they sell them, people still they take them. But we know say the government, police will continue for track down these people where they manufacture, where they carry out in a salon, where they sell them to youth there. And also see how they keep for even arrest the ones as well where they take them.
Okay.
Because for sure. But this is a good one with the judiciary don't do. And we don't say other cases them. If they're able to do this within 2 months, it means other cases away. Now other issues outside of drugs.
They able give speedy trial.
They're able to do speedy trial. So their cases are not there before judges for 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, and then they get judgment. If it can do this, it means they can do more.
Like the recent conviction where involved the former executive director for SLISA.
Yes, intake from 2017. 2017. Now 2025 they take judgment. That's too much.
Okay.
That's too much. I think the judiciary need for work. Come on.
Okay, we'll open the phone line now and pick some calls on 079-994-993. Call and make a contribution regarding the topic that we don't discuss inside the second segment of the show. We go first caller on the phone. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pamusa de Konat.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I want to talk about that money where America does send for we body. So I ask now, who will benefit under that money because of salon like we should saloya where you left for going to hospital, like we will not get so it can look difficult for like a medical. So but I think say with this money inside the so this could help with the poor one the way visit if you go to hospital for like we will get your medical. Now this have been the try for us. We could benefit under that money there or not to save them get for save later. Then according to the drugs fighting, anyway, government for really stepped in, really, because the way the system in country and now we don't look like the system they look slow. Yeah.
Okay,
and
thank
the
you.
thing when begin increase back. So now this has been say three is at the top to government for let government come in for law offense against this drugs in this country.
Thank you. 079-994-993. Call and make a contribution inside the show. Perhaps the Ministry of Health go tell the public later how they get for do the money, how they for Shebam, you know. Hello, your name outside the call from?
Mr. Dilayo.
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I can so feel you know, like America, so it can like say, Allah put blessing upon them. Because just imagine, yes, England, we get the people and the way they come and come, but me never pray God, I get a person within England, they can as alone, because I know say, that before they go meet, Allah go meet the company brother, because he go get mine give me, because they took rabbits. You know, somebody will be America, but when it come na it, when he meet you, wallahi, yes, you meet up mortal man, now they get giving spirit. But anyway, see the England, look at now they come, but look now where they make this man, where he be say the American people and one day the American not able to come. Look how the country is sorry. You know, then they come to the police and they pray to Allah. You know, the police then they go, but policeman then they. But when they hard for me, when they get mind, they get hard for me.
Thank
you. Poor people, you know, let Allah bless them. The good one, the wicked one, them run, and the one with the traffic. You know, not in the police them.
Thank you. 079-994-993. We'll take a few more calls. Call and make a contribution regarding the topic them we don't deal with inside the second segment. Hello, your name outside the call from.
Yeah, good morning, Marion.
Good morning.
This is Father Lambert from Grafton. Please, I send message to the Grafton police post concerning this drugs fighting. That's how they call pin line, second at the water. Up to now, they use the wrong concern for smoke 247. Even this morning, a person to the water panel before they come out. Please, Grafton police post. This is our concern for fight the drugs abuse that we community. You say they abuse the drugs so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 079-994-993. Will they take more calls? It is the second segment of the Epic Morning Show, and we don't deal with a range of issues. Hello, your name outside the call from.
Marius, good morning.
Good morning.
Exactly, Marius, I always pray for Epic Radio and all of you people. In terms of the drugs fighting in Republic of Sierra Leone, Marius, I know they call na radio for satisfy anybody. For when say we are district, very soon we declare for say we are free from coups and tramadol. Reason being, me when they talk to each other, where Ebola can accept with sincerity, with honesty, and not ask government, because we don't have government and then you. Corona come, a threat of president can be passed. I didn't treat. So we can take the poetic mention now. Marius, after the talk, I said, kudos to the division. The superintendent Mangole Masare and Inspector Koroma, they don't demolish all the cartel inside the cellar.
Okay.
But I tell them that they'll not stop you. Now they take down some pharmacy, because some pharmacies are there, some health side are there, some I don't get it.
Thank you.
And as far the minister don't talk, 50 milligram, any tramadol will go above that day. If you come under the Igbo, no, they go demolish them by the police.
Okay. 079-994-993. Will they take few more calls, like 3 or 4 more calls, and wrap up. Hello, your name outside the call from.
Good morning, Marion, precious church. Concerned citizen, Lansing.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I just want to use this opportunity for commend the Minister of Health, you know, because actually one way for tackle is tramadol. Now for put a ban on the percentage of the one we can inside. Because if you get tramadol, we get a milligram of up to 500. You know, it's killing. It damage which I commend the minister for me, my own concern. How can go monitor some of them families? How can go monitor the borders? Because I understand some of them tramadol they come into the porous borders from Guinea. How can go do for more? Because then they sell them behind the under the counter, you know. Away from that, I want to commend the police. for the transformation where they try to do. I mean, that's the way it should be. The police will be friendly with the society.
Okay,
Thank you. Against the people that are waiting for come and go check. I think Mario, we go there. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll take 3 more calls and wrap up the show this morning. The number is 079-994-993. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Abakar from Fuma.
Go ahead, Bakar.
The fighting of Ramadan, really, the government don't try, but another party seems into that because the addicts and the people that are the addicts, then they are the things at the time, and they move around, and they rise around. So this thing, how the way we hold them over there, how the way we teach them, put them in a center where they were able to revive them people in their life, give training into them, different things in their life, so that they will see, say, wait till we see them be deeper, not danger for their life. No, they can see this. When they see na them over there and they spend all the different corner there, and they get all the wisdom. When they see clean salon, the buku, when they see different, we bobo they will not be sad. When they see some man on craze.
Okay, thank you.
So need for fight this. Thank you.
Yes. Will they take 2 more calls and wrap up? 079-994-993. Hello. Your name also the call from.
Now, Suleiman, I call from Park Street.
Yes, Suleiman. Go ahead. I'm fine.
This thing, we case can then a court for longer. What in the cause, or what in will be the cause between the people that were in the get the case and the one that were the judge? Me not so I suspect to connive. Then this okay, I left down for that time.
Okay, thank you. 1 more call, 079-994-993, and we'll take the last call and end the show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, your name also the call from.
This is Almami. Let God bless you, man.
Yeah.
One thing I want to let you know, any provocation or any destruction of God in creation, especially when the institution that will make contribution, will not able to destroy God in creation. All the one that will help the institution, the way for pay attention, will we stop from destroy God in creation. It will not come on board. A big problem in future. And secondly, I want to know say this God. If you see this thing out in the column, Coco Samba, we able to cut off Coco Samba in 3 days time. What about this push where we can't turn at truth for we?
Okay.
We got to very be careful, be mindful, and also be prayerful because we should all learn from the past and not to repeat those things that have kept us back for over so many years backwards.
Thank you.
Let's be mindful. God bless you all.
Thank you. We'll not pick any more calls. We'll wrap up now. Start with Mane.
Yes, so I want to start with Suleiman. We just asked, we think he delayed some of the court cases. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a court staff, but I feel say sometimes from experience, then can say, okay, outside the judges say maybe they don't get sufficient witnesses to the case, maybe the long adjournment to the lawyers that they apply for, maybe the lawyers know they come again for the matters. These are several reasons that we can make a case they can take a court. So the judiciary gets a lot of work for do, because if we say we go back to this push where they don't help for 15 2 months, up to 100 them, some more cases that we do before sentence people, it means the judiciary can do more. And also we want to continue for give kudos to the police for we they continue to do their hard work for see how they capable for fit this push and see how they capable for maintain the peace and order.
Okay.
With all the approach the holiday period, and I deal with this so now, and so on for which everybody say make them enjoy respectfully and responsibly, able to maintain the peace, enjoy, and make your enjoyment not influence other person or affect other person. So enjoy Saturday and keep the peace.
Thank you, Reginald.
Yes, thank you so much, Marion. Thanks to the callers that we also take the time for contributing to the program this morning. I think I just want for me, it's like a sort of advice to everybody where they go out during this moment of festivity and all the activities are so many. Please be careful. What you drink, where you drink, be careful with time, where you drive, ensure that you're careful just so this morning we the car will look at the incident we occur. Let's say that maybe happened during the day. I mean, this Lolo say be happen Santem, we don't know the kind of problem we've been for them cause the whole container just bang and go over the Congo Cross Bridge this morning. So again, drivers, please be careful. No drive above the limit so you know say you for drive and all. And then when you get different people within your car, ensure that you protect their lives. And with this few for thank you and thanks to the one they will listen to me as well this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, and thanks to everybody who make the show possible. DJ B Show, give you technical support inside the studio. Abubakar Bendu and so you see make on live on Facebook. The producers of the show, na Fatma Talebi and Reginald Brian Ojokotu Soya, executive producer Teresa Thomas. Until tomorrow, we'll go join in again with the midweek edition of the Epic Morning Show. Marion Precious, George say, have a lovely day and tata.